Welcome to On the Rail with Techno Tawsh. I am with Joris Voorn. I've been waiting for this moment. I reached out to you during ADE and we couldn't quite make it during the Drum Code pop-up store, but now we made it here at Roxy in Prague. And what are you looking forward to most being in Prague tonight?
Well, I guess playing. That's the only thing I can do tonight. I mean, we had a nice drink at the hotel and now we're here to have a good party.
And I know that this year has brought you a lot of new and exciting things. I know that you started off your year doing your You and I show, and I wanted you to talk a little bit about what that show is like. How is it original to you? I know that that's something that's kind of like a creative outlet for you that you've been working on for quite some time now.
Yeah, the You and I show is basically just a live show with my own tracks that I play live. And so it's about 90 minutes usually, and it's a collaboration with some amazing visual artists called Liveframe, and they do fantastic live generated images based on my music. So it's a really great way to showcase my music in a different way than just playing it in my DJ sets.
Have you featured any of your photography or any of that kind of influence show in the artistic side?
No, that's completely not part of it. It's the whole visual side I have nothing to do with, which is great because I love it when other people are doing amazing things. And
what was it like playing A State of Trance? Was it your first time doing this in a back-to-back with Armin van Buuren?
Yeah, first time. It was good actually. I think we really enjoyed it both. I think it was interesting because we both had to move a bit more towards each other's direction, but it worked out really well. And I think it was a super nice back-to-back.
And I know that back in the day you were saying that you would call yourself more of a techno purist, and I know that you've expanded a lot with your sound and kind of gotten really creative with that and mixed in genres. So if you were your younger self looking at what you've created and produced today, what would you think that your techno purist self would be thinking of what you've done so far up until this point?
Well, I believe in things moving forward, and I believe I'm not very conservative when it comes to music. I like changes. I like new things all the time, and things just develop a certain way. And if I look back on my younger self now, I'm like, oh, that was cool then, but I think what I'm doing now is cool as well. I'm having a great time. I think the people in front of me on stage, in the audience, are having a great time as well. I think that's all that matters.
And what do you think techno is looking like now? Because there's definitely been an evolution with that, of course, over the course of at least 20 years. And we've moved into subgenres of techno. So what do you think the future of techno looks like?
I mean, I think the future is here already. Techno is bigger than it's ever been in history. Not everything is my kind of techno. I think a lot of the techno, the way it originated, that's maybe taken a back seat at the moment. I think everything's kind of being called techno as long as it has a strong kick drum. But that's the way it is. That's okay. I think there's a lot of young kids getting into the music at the moment. I kind of hoped, and that's the kind of pure form of techno is going to persist and maintain its important spot in the music landscape.
And what about 90s making a comeback? Do you have any say on that?
No comment.
And what can we look forward to with your upcoming album? Because of course you've released the track You and I, you have your You and I live show, so now you have the album coming out soon.
There's a lot of new music that I'm playing in my DJ sets as well. Some of it is a bit deeper, so I don't play it every single set. But I've been working on it for a while, not all the time. I have a lot of projects happening, so it's good sometimes to let the music sit in my studio as well, and kind of revisit things a few months later. But I think we've kind of compiled a list of tracks that we're gonna put on the album, and I have to finish those. But that's always a challenge. I think finishing tracks is not my strongest point. It just takes very long.
Okay, and I know that a lot of times we're releasing singles and not doing albums. That's not the most popular thing to do in electronic music, of course, for many reasons, right? But what is it that keeps bringing you back to doing albums instead of just releasing the singles? And why do artists like you maybe release some singles from the album where we already have heard it before, and it may not be the first time that we're hearing the entire story?
I think albums in electronic music have been a very strong concept for many years, but lately, because of streaming, people listen to individual tracks more than a whole album. I think people's what's it called, attention span is not as long as it used to be. So I feel you need to kind of work a little bit towards what people expect. Although I still, having said that, I still believe in the concept of an album, and I think I'm not making an album in the same way as I would maybe 10, 15 years ago, but I think it's still something that really works, and it's a body of work that is something that stands out against all the single tracks that are also very exposable.
Yeah, I was wondering if it limited your creativity in any way, because again, I've seen so many electronic music artists releasing almost their entire album without it being an album, and then once they do, there may be 2, maybe 3 tracks that we haven't heard before, but we've heard the rest.
Yeah, that's kind of a concept, that's also a marketing concept that kind of makes sense. Because I've seen so many albums being dropped in one go, and then it's too much music for people to consume. So, a lot of tracks are kind of getting lost in the vast majority of singles. So like dropping a whole body of work all at once without slowly dropping a few tracks in advance it can also be a bit of a waste of music, because not so many people actually listen to it anymore. So that's the reason why.
Okay. And last thing, I know that you just released a collab with AVIRA. Love him very much. He's been putting out some amazing music and some great sets with, of course, Armin van Buuren's label. And what was it like putting the collab together with him, and what can we look forward to in the future this year with you?
It was super nice. He's a great guy from Toronto. I met him there the last time I was playing in Toronto, and it was great. He's a lovely guy. I think he used to be in trance more, and now he's moving a bit more into, whatever it's called, melodic techno. It's not really techno. It's not very techno, but I guess it's more trancey, but a bit more minimal. But he's a great producer and a super nice guy. So that was a lot of fun.
And anything else to look forward to this year?
So much, but I only look one week ahead in my schedule usually, so that I don't know what's happening in 2 weeks. We'll see.
Thank you for joining us, Joris Voorn. It was a pleasure.